But you know what? I'm gonna keep it real. I just feel like these might be just bots, or is Live Nation inflating these numbers? Because remember, Kanye West had a 1 point something million.
It was
in the
crazy,
queue,
bro.
Right. So I'm like, is he trying to like upstage Kanye West?
It kind of sucks not being able to hear the sound effects. You know what I mean? It just like pumps you up.
Well, we could get them for just
Now we go. We're good.
We could get them like next time.
Welcome back, fellas.
I don't mind it. We just gotta run 2 wires that way and then just do it the splitters.
Just less logistics.
For me, it was just less of the work.
Yeah.
Less running fucking wires and trying to hide them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good for how's everybody? Welcome back, episode 48.
48.
How's everybody been?
Man.
Good.
How's everybody's mental state right now? It's a lot going on in the world, dog.
Deteriorating along with the United States, man.
The United States, the raza is going through it, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. But how you guys been in your personals?
Also deteriorating. No.
Hey, you've been keeping your fitness together?
I've been trying, man. We've been doing, just trying to avoid cooked foods for Lent. So we gave up or not cooked foods. Like takeout and stuff. So It's been going pretty well. Just eating. I typically just cook chicken and rice or beef and rice.
Yeah.
So that's my entire diet. Starting including some sweet potato fire. Anyone should add that to their diet. But yeah, I've lost like 10 pounds. Yeah.
You can tell. You can see it in your face, bro.
Yeah, I lost like 10 pounds just by doing nothing extra, just changing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was telling him like, damn, for you look nice.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. Your face,
well,
you
I
can
was
tell.
telling him too. I got a cut or like a haircut, and haircuts do wonders for guys. They're like BBLs, but for men.
Definitely BBLs.
I'm overdue for one right now. Shit.
And I mean that's the highlight of everything right now, honestly, because everything else, in life, in the world, you sort of just try to avoid it, but you can't let it get to you. But you're aware of all the situations going on and all that.
There's a lot going on in the world. Fool.
Yeah.
Gas is up crazy right now, but for me, I just been I got invited. Oh my bad. I got invited to also Sunday. I get a text from Willie B, who we had as a guest a few weeks ago. He's like, "Yo, pull up. We're in the studio tonight." I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Damn, say less." Like, "Yo, pull up at 7." I'm like, "All right, cool." I was gonna text the group, but I noticed like he said, "You pull up." Like he didn't say the squad pull up.
Yeah.
In which it was the good decision that I didn't hit up nobody up because it's a small, intimate studio. And when I pulled up, there was like only one seat. So it was a perfect. If I would have pulled up with like 3 fools, they would have been like a little tight. And sometimes rappers get a little like when there's too many heads in the studio.
And who are these guys? Like,
yeah. So even though it would have been still good vibes, but it was a little warm in there too. So I don't know why they had like the AC where it would turn on every couple like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
but I'm like,
keep it at 70, bro. You know
I was just like, damn. but I was in there. I met the fucking legendary battle rapper Daylight. He was there. He's also a collab with J. Cole a lot.
Nice.
He's allegedly goes road for Drake. He's a legendary battle rapper too. So I got to meet him. I got to be with Willie B and a couple of his artists and his engineer. So it was cool. It was cool vibes just to be there. Took some film shots of Willie B and the other homie. His name is Juice, Joose, Juice. And then just like catch a vibe. I was there for probably 2 hours and a half.
That's awesome.
The fool played me a lot of records. Come, a lot of things that he's been cooking up. It was good to be in a TDE studio. Oh shit, like. Damn, how far
How'd you get the invite? He just knew you were an appreciator of the fine arts?
Yeah, because he really had a great time in the interview. He felt like it was one of his best interviews. He got the connect. He said it like, you guys really love music, and it was one of the most refreshing interviews I've ever had. Yeah. So it was a good compliment for all of us to have that type of interview and type of energy here. So yeah, he invited me on Sunday, like, yo, pull up. Cool. I'm like, oh shit, I wasn't gonna pull up. I had other things going on, but I moved some things around to pull up, and then it was dope.
Nice.
And then he's just like, "Yo, fool, come. He's like, I'm here cooking every day, and just come." So I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna try to make it there at least once a week. Even if it's 2 hours and a half or whatever, just to like see who knows who pulls up.
You never know who pulls up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Because
That's
when he left our interview, he went to with J. Cole. So
nice.
So when he literally left our interview, he got a text from his label like, "Yo, pull up." J. Cole pulled up. So like you never know, fool. You never know who you catch in there, and then who I could bring into the pod. Hopefully, I could maneuver Daylight to come over here. He did follow me on Instagram, so I'm gonna see if I can maneuver that fool to pull up, and continue doing our Cold Media great interviews because I feel like they've been really good so far, fool.
Sometimes you just got to be in a room, and then you never know what magic happens.
Yes, that and then people were like, "Yo, well, they were getting my number, my Instagram, and it was just cool to just be there, appreciate music, catch a vibe, and like Fly said, just be a fly on the wall and just chill and and let it
observe and shit.
observe and let the energies, because I've been in that space of music and with big people for a while, so I know how to like maneuver to where it leads to things and it leads to collaborations, it leads to more invites, it leads to bigger invites and shit. So, it's dope. It's dope. But I did that this past weekend, and I've just been grinding for it. Just been editing, a lot of. I've been working on a docu-series with a certain executive. He wants to meet up to pitch something and like slowly develop it into an official pitch and then maybe try to get some type of meetings with his pool. But it's still in the early process. But just exciting, because it is a big person in the industry, and it is a music. It's a music
Latino.
Mexican, yes, for
Nice.
sure. So we were supposed to meet him up today, but he pushed it a little forward. So he's one of those elusive type of. Hopefully we meet him tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll make it happen tomorrow. But for just continue being creative. Also, I know how I talked about I was gonna work on not documentary, short film.
Yeah.
Around April, I pushed it a little further because my lead actor, which I don't want to mention him, but he has a movie. He's in Mexico right now filming a movie, and he's been working on his diet. I want him to be at a certain weight.
Yeah.
So he's committed to be that weight. So he's been working on himself because it's very important for him to be a certain weight.
Really?
I feel like fucking almost 50 pounds overweight.
Oh, dang.
So I wanted that foot to be 200 to fit that role, because that specific role. And I've been tapping in with my lead actor, and he's committed. He's like, "Fool, I promised you that I was gonna do this, so just know that I'm gonna give you what you expect out of me." And then so I'm being a little more patient. All right, cool. You do have a movie with a pretty big Mexican actor.
Yeah.
One of the Narcos pretty big Mexican actor. One of the older guys. He's not his name, but he's been in a lot of big shit, for sure. A lot of big shit. So I'm all right though for you doing your shit. But I told him, okay, give me more time to finalize that script. But it's just kind of like I'm eager to shoot stuff. I'm eager to shoot creative stuff. So I want to get back into that. And I know I've been saying that, but also I'm always working and I'm always shooting some stuff. You know what I mean? And continue the progress of like slowly building and slowly moving the right way. But how you guys been?
Good, man. And well, like you were saying, the world needs more creatives, especially now. AI is starting to take over everything. I think even we talked about recently how like even Netflix writers were using AI for their scripts on. Was it Stranger Things?
It was Stranger
Dang.
Things.
So like even that's already integrated. So it's so important, especially now, to have a creative vision. Because even though AI can write a script, etc., it's not gonna put it to the screen. It's not gonna have it feel a certain way. The mise en scène.
Yeah. So you're right. And you know what? I was tripping out because the homie Ernie had pulled up, I think like a week and a half ago, and a homie of mine as well that I used to have a podcast with, probably like in 2000 and I want to say probably like 13, 14, 15, and 16, around that.
Damn.
You know how I was interning in some podcast studio around that time? So this fool, damn, shout out to Chris Hume, dog. This fool, like, I think like has 11 nominations, 7 wins.
Wow.
Last of
Dang.
Us. He's a sound designer.
Oh, okay.
He has Last of Us, Prey. He's won so many, and to see him and like giving speeches, I'm like, damn, this who made it this fucking far. And he is down to be the sound designer for my short film,
That's beautiful.
which is very important for me.
Yeah.
To have a great, amazing sound designer. And I told him, bro, like, is this going to be a very a passion project? Is it going to be the very small, the smallest of the budgets? But I want to like see who's trying to be in this journey. Like he's like, yo, fool, count me in. Talk to Ernie to talk to him. He's like, yeah, for that shit, he's down. And see what we could do with that, because that's going to be a big asset for having a post production sound design.
Yeah.
Because that's half the work for me. Like loving film and shit, and loving great filmmakers, they always have a great score. And to have like somebody like that of his talent, to have worked in crazy ass HBO shows, movies, film, TV, and accoladed as fuck, and to be like down for the project. It's just so little by little, I'm building the team. The homie Ernie's gonna help with the sound on set.
Yeah.
And just trying to get the essentials to try to do. And I'm gonna thug it out. I'm not gonna go all out on permits. I'm gonna thug it out, fool.
Guerrilla.
I'm gonna guerrilla it, and I'm gonna use the community to patrol these sets that are gonna be. It's gonna be shot in the hood. It's not gonna be a hood movie, but it's gonna be shot in the hood. And I'm just gonna thug it out and blend in with the community and just film that way. Blend in with the community. Have the security guard as regular people there.
Yeah.
And just like, because having Dame up here, how that fool Dame from the Laugh series, he's like, cutting corners is very important, as especially coming up and trying to get in this space. Sometimes like the permits and like you can't allow that stuff to hold you back.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you said, they filmed in cul-de-sacs where they could block off things and get away with filming in streets and shit. I'm like, I'm gonna figure that out too. Try to like cut corners, and where I could cut corners and use my community to make sure that we're safe in these type of environments. But
there's always going to be a ton of red tape on anything you want to do, and like all legislation. Like, just do the thing, worry about consequences later.
Yeah.
That seems to be the way our government works anyway. So, fuck it. Let's just do it.
Because I had a producer in mind that I wanted to work with, and then he was just like, he's so like permits and this and that. I'm like, damn, like that seems also like, I don't want that to stop me, fool.
Yeah. It depends what type of filmmaking you like.
Yeah.
Were raised up with too.
Yeah.
Like obviously we're not gonna have large like budgets, and then I come from a background of like it's a mix.
It's a mix,
Guerrilla,
yes.
and then you also got the kids that went to Chatsworth or USC, and they had like $100,000 budgets on their final episode or like final like class, like in their what the fuck is it called? In the final classes of USC. So I actually got in, had the opportunity to go there. And I mean, like, it was a time I think James Franco was teaching some classes. So some of my friends were in his class. So they all got budgets of like $70,000 for their short film, which was like 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
So just with that, and then having James Franco as like producer for all the short films, and they all ended up being a part of like a major film, like they combined it together. It's like, where else are you gonna get opportunity to shoot that? Nowhere. So you gotta just guerrilla everything essentially and become like who's the guy that shot the mariachi, or what's that one guy with is it Robert Ramirez?
The mariachi movie?
Yeah, the mariachi. But he basically shot everything guerrilla. He had his own camera. I think he shot his own like action scenes while rollerblading.
Robert Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, yeah.
Yeah.
So and then, he's like co-produced a ton of stuff with like major film directors, film producers. So you just gotta pick, guerrilla style. I think that's the way to go, honestly, because we're never gonna go over that red tape. We already know about all the issues that Horchata con Oat Milk went through, and so I think half of their budget went to permits. So it's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, and also I'm gonna put with the budget that I do have in the equipment itself.
Yeah.
And make sure that we have the proper lighting. Like that's the most important thing for me, to have the right sound engineer on set, the right lighting, and then the right camera and lenses. That's where I'm gonna put most of my work, and work with actors that are hungry.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to work with just people that are just in acting classes. I'm gonna work with people that are unknown faces that are in this field that are hungry, because people that could give me the raw talent. And there's a lead actor of mine that I have. He's gonna give me. He's somebody that I could push to the limit, and he's somebody that's very passionate and very hard-headed as well. But because he's very passionate about what he does. And somebody that I'm gonna push her.
That's exciting, man.
Somebody that I'm comfortable like to push to him to the edge, and get because this is a drama, and get the best out of him. But I'm gonna shoot it. I'm gonna shoot it in a way where it could be a pilot for a series. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna write it to where it's
like an open book.
Yeah, it can open to where like it could if it hits the right eyes. It might get picked up for actual series for development, and use his character as the lead character, because I really believe in what he does because of his what he does. He puts a lot of effort in what he does in his language. The way he speaks is what I need for this specific character.
Yeah. Well, even Bradley Cooper did that. He did a movie called Limitless about a pill that makes you unlock the wonders of your brain and unlock 100% brain power. That turned into a series too, and it was super successful.
Yeah.
And it even has a spin-off. So
yeah, so I'm taking that approach, and most importantly, is locking down the lead actor.
Yeah.
It needs to be a particularly with a certain type of language.
Yeah.
I think he's perfect for the character that I have.
And he has to be 200 pounds.
And he has to be closer to 200. I think he's like 240-ish.
Dang.
I'm like, fool, I need you to cut a lot of weight off.
Yeah.
Like I need you to look your age.
Shit sounds easier than it is, huh?
Honestly,
for sure, man.
He says 50 pounds like
but
it ain't no
look,
thing.
if you're an actor and if you really love that, hey, don't stop cheating yourself. Don't stop cheating yourself.
Christian Bale in The Machinist, where he's like that, and he's super skinny. I think he lost insane amount. And then he does Batman the next year, and he's super buff. So that's a guy that you should aspire to be, basically.
Yeah, but that's kind of what was the update on that, and it's giving me a little more time to continue the journey of So I'm in the hunt for a female supporting lead too. So I'm I'm gonna bring some guests up here so I could see who's down for this project.
The podcast is the trial.
Yes.
It may sound a little weird, but it's the couch.
It's not the casting couch.
It's the couch.
And how you guys been? Anything new with you guys?
For me, over the weekend, I was working hard on I dropped that Candelita already. Yeah, we dropped that today finally. Been in the works for a while now, I'm very happy to have that product out for,
Fire.
people
awesome.
to see, experience, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Smell.
Well, the easy part's over.
Yeah.
Typically, the easy part is
honestly,
making the product and launching. The hard part is, all right, where is my community?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's going to buy my product?
Building your community.
How am I going to outreach to potential clients? How am I going to bring inbound customers? How am I going to appeal to a certain demographic? So, I worked with a lot of people that always drop products, and it's all right, yeah, we got a month to drop it. Cool. What's the strategy for the next 5-10 years after that? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot to be thinking and planning around that too. So it's a lot of get your email list ready because that's half of your revenue is going to come from the email.
Yeah.
Your most devoted people are going to sign up for discounts, drops, giveaways, announcements, etc. So that's already something you got to plan for. And then ads is a fundamental part too. You got to be all right, you got to You got to think in your brain like, what's your profit margin on every product? All right, let's say you're getting a 3-to-1 profit, so you're spending $10 to get 30. Then you should be willing to spend like 10% of all your revenue on ads in order to sustain that and then continue to grow.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
I'm excited for
I'm
it, though,
super excited for you. Congrats,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, for sure.
Because it is a great thing to be getting into this, but this is where you're in the midst
Yeah.
of the troubles now. Like, damn, like,
Yes.
all right, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
What would you suggest right now that he's launched for sure? How would you spend your next, let's say, month?
My next month is, who are your main clientele?
Yeah.
Is it like hipster kids in college? Is it the moms and the stay-at-home moms that have a little extra money to go to? Is it Hispanics? Is it white people? Because in reality, every company has a specific demographic that'll make up maybe like 30% of all their customers, and you want to go towards that 30% because every dollar you spend towards them will come back to you exponentially more. Whereas let's say you're trying to target like, I don't know, a family way out in the Mideast that like never buy candles whatsoever. That's not your target. And, people like, let's say with Facebook and Instagram ads, they sort of blanket target everyone and be like, oh, whoever gets, whoever buys the candles at Walmart will definitely love my candles. Well, you got to think of it. Walmart's probably like $2 candles. They don't care about the story behind it. They care about the convenience. So therefore, what I'm assuming right now is it's probably going to be like a stay-at-home mom who has a little extra cash, probably makes over $80,000 a year.
Yeah.
And so that's all like stuff you used to be able to specifically target demographics in with ads. It's gone more of a blanket way where like it's your content that pulls in your audience now.
Yeah.
So now you got to make sure your aesthetic fits something that a Midwest woman in her like 40s would like. You got to make sure they are going to love it. Well, it's like a Hispanic thing, so we're probably going for Hispanic. So I would say go for just the women in Los Angeles. The women in Los Angeles already have, especially Hispanic, we're 50% Hispanic, have roots that they want to like portray and make clear that they love, and so therefore make this like a fashion statement. This candle, you already got your tote bag, you already got your whatever. This candle you need at home to show off how you love your roots, and the candle's experience also leads to you sharing like the story and the feel of being back home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
That's basically what I'm trying to do with these candles. I'm obviously trying to put a story behind it.
Yeah.
So that when you're purchasing it, you buy with that intention. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be a shelf candle.
Yeah.
There you go. You look at the color. I want that one. You smell it real quick. Oh, this smells good. Boom. Put it
Yeah.
on your counter. Nah. I want you to get that candle and in your mind be like, you know what? Damn, today I had a rough day, bro. You go out there, you get your little Candelita. You put your intention to it, light it up. And let it do its thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So every candle that I'm dropping, I have a drop of 6. So it's just 6 different scents, 6 different meanings. So I mean, you kind of go into the website and you choose what fits you best.
Yeah.
We are trying to stay away from it just being for the ladies. I want it to be for us men as well, because I myself love candles.
Yeah.
And I didn't start the business for my wife. You know what I mean? I started the business because it was something that I've always kind of grown up with. Scent has always just been me, bro.
Yeah.
I've had a shit ton of collections of colognes, because I've always loved smelling good. But I also love getting home to a good smelling home. You know what I mean? So when you open that door, it's just like your shoulders drop, you're home. You know what I mean? So I want to give everybody that feeling, you know what I mean? Whether it's that mom at home that's just staying at home and wants to make sure her house is always clean, or that man that just comes from a long day of work and shit and just wants to relax, unwind, and light a candle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How I look at candles, I look for a sense of like spirituality. It makes me feel good when I light it up. It warms up like just the feeling of having like a candle lit. It just makes to me the aesthetic a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel better.
Yeah.
So adding a story and be creative in things that you do. Be very intentional. let your voice speak as well. Let your voice speak to the people, and just find ways to connect with the community. Do you suggest maybe even doing like pop-ups at you know how they have a lot of like arts and crafts markets where they have a lot of like boutique style products? Do you suggest that route?
I would say yes, but you have to go in prepared for failure because,
Of course.
Everyone starts up with a pop up, and then you're probably gonna sell like 4 candles in a day,
Of
where
course.
it costs you like $100 to be there.
But you look at it as a marketing tool too as well,
Yeah.
where like you might not sell a lot, but
Yeah.
you're putting the word out, and then maybe
Exactly.
maybe even giving lighters away. You know, or something that looks so dope that you might not buy a candle, but look, take this
something
lighter,
tangible to have.
Take this lighter and then think of us later or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, be able to to even use that where you're spending $150 to have a little stand, but just have these conversations with people and then you'll be surprised for you might be able to win. You will be able to win like customers just having a great interaction and explaining what's the purpose of your candle and your mission with these products.
Yeah.
It goes a long way.
Yeah.
It goes a long way.
And I think that's kind of where I feel the excitement, because I'm excited to share this
Yeah.
with somebody. You know what I mean?
That's great.
This whole first beginning half or third or fourth, whatever it is, for me was honestly like the hardest. You know what I mean? Because I'm going into something like this blind.
Yeah.
Not really knowing what avenues to go through, what paths to take. So it's just like I started, and the ball just kept rolling.
Yeah,
And
of
everything
course.
that came my way, I was just attacking until I got to this point. I was just like, what else is stopping me? I mean, at this point, I felt like nothing else besides my motivation to go out there and start presenting these things. You know what I mean? So I feel like today was that day. I say, I'm going to drop my first little ad. And I just dropped it, got, first couple of sales.
That's fire, though.
Honestly, I'm
It was
glad you did,
motivational.
because what a lot of people do is they think, oh, it's got to be perfect before you drop. Honestly, you're going to go through a million variations of your product, of your website, of your copy, of the ads you're doing. So I'm glad you mentioned earlier how you're already putting a story behind like how people you want people to feel once they light this candle, right? So I would imagine that type, if you can put that visualization in an ad, which you just did. You talked about how we just got home from a stressful day, turn on the candle, relax. That's content right there.
It is.
And we're in a market right now that you need market saturation. Even Google says you need to be found by your customers in 7 different locations, 11 times, in a multitude of ways. So that they get in your head
Programmed
that
in a sense.
you're gonna get repetition in your head, and then you get resonance with the brand, and then they buy. So your customer, you're not gonna show them an ad once and then they'll buy. They'll see that ad 10 times and then they'll buy.
Then they'll buy.
So the first time they get hit with an ad, a month from now they'll get that 11th ad of similar variation, or maybe the same exact ad, but typically you do like dozens of ads at the same time. Then that that structurally different ad, it's trying to do the same thing, but it like the wording is different that just resonates with them, and then they buy. So it is a long process. It's a long time to learn what your customer likes, but the best way to learn what works is to get a ton of content out there, especially organic content. Just be putting videos out every day. 2-3 videos out every day for the first month will get you 100 videos. You'll be able to see, all right, this percentage
What
of
was
people
good,
didn't resonate. This one actually led to 2 sales. Let's copy that exact same format, make it 3 different ways, and you stem from there. So it is a lot of A/B testing.
Trial and errors. Yeah.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that. I mean,
Yeah,
I want to know what those errors are, so I can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm ready
Content,
for it.
like you said, content is king right now for that, and find ways to like how people do their how to set up their day, like how the people clean up their home and then the candle, or like just find ways to even without words, even without just like the visual of it, how to shoot things where I don't know, you gotta just continue with the content. Don't overthink it. Where like, man, maybe now just continue every day, persistent, and watch one of them is gonna hit crazy, and and it's in a row to another one, to more followers, but content.
But yeah, the beginning part, the whole trying to get everything perfect, bro, it wasn't working. And to the point where I was just like, you know what, bro? I mean, you're already dropping some quality stuff.
Yeah,
just keep it pushing and just keep elevating it. You know what I mean? At one point, I'm gonna like exactly where I'm at, fool, and I'm gonna just sustain, and then just keep pushing from there. You know?
Yeah. So how would you describe this collection? Break it down.
Well, this collection here is.
What was the inspiration behind it?
The inspiration is keeping everything intentional, right, for the consumer. Now, I had a previous, little like a self journey where I wanted to do more of like how do I call it, like meditation and stuff. You know what I mean, like just self work. You know what I mean, and I started going to Aslan Herbal Remedies.
Yeah,
and he is like a Mexican herbalist.
Describe your collection and what you just dropped and what it means. What does it mean to you?
Well, these 6 candles that I'm dropping, I wanted it to be more like a Mexican tradition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I named them all Spanish names for a reason. You know, I had one, Alma de Copal.
Yeah.
And I had my wife asked me, she's like, why would you name it that? And well, this one here is more like Alma is your spirit. Yeah. And Copal for me was a remembrance when my grandma used to do her own little meditations. She would, light up her little charcoal, put a little Copal on top, and just do her thing, right? She was very spiritual. So when I got the scent, that kind of is what brought it back. It was like, oh, damn, I remember my grandma when she used to do this. So I named it Alma de Copal. Yeah. Alma, because it was my grandmother's soul, and Copal, because it reminded me of her.
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean? So a lot of these candles are going to be stories that I internally have that I want to just bring out for everybody to understand where it comes from, because people might resonate. You know what I mean? They probably went through that as well, and they have that in their mind, but don't understand or know how to bring up that memory again. Yeah. For them, it's just a thought, but sometimes that smell will just trigger that memory, bring so many thoughts into your mind. Yeah. This is what I want the candle brand to be. You know what I mean? A way to remember your past memories. So that's basically what I wanted to reflect.
And what's your favorite candle right now from that collection?
My favorite candle, like I said, I wanted to be a little more of like a masculine thing. You know what I mean? Because it's me making it. It's not a female making these candles. Yeah. So the one that kind of resonated with me right now is one that's called Herencia Viva. And this is like I said, I love colognes, bro. So this one has a very masculine cologne smell. Yeah. So, I mean, I light that one up every time I come into the house, bro. Because I like that fresh going out. It brings my mood back up, you know what I mean? It gets everything nice and going with the kids and my wife and all that stuff. Nice. So, yeah, that's basically what I got.
That's fire, phone. That's fire. Make sure you guys tap into Candelita.co.
Candelita.co.
Check it out. Yeah, we'll just continue with the content every day. I'm gonna film some stuff as well, and then I'll put it on this episode as well. But let's get into some topics, phone.
What we got?
All right, let's get it. So Jay-Z dropped the interview with GQ today. He's spoken a lot. I feel like he's getting ready to drop an album, right? Because he said this year he's going to be in the offense. Because the last couple of years he was in the defense. Obviously, a lot of controversy, a lot of Rock Nation backlash, a lot of the Weinstein stuff. Yeah. The Epstein name him being named some of the Epstein documents. So how I took it, he's gonna drop an album soon. Yeah. He recently had launched 2 shows for I think the Yankee Stadium. They sold out right away. And there was like almost 8 million people in the queue. But you know what? I'm gonna keep it real. I just feel like these might be just bots, or is Live Nation inflating these numbers? Because remember, Kanye West had a 1-point-something million.
It was crazy,
queue,
bro.
Right. So I'm like, is he trying to upstage Kanye West? Weird. He is in bed with Live Nation. So I was just like, that's true. Jay-Z he's an older artist, bro. But I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, where he's like, all right, maybe he does have that because he don't do shows.
Well, some people were complaining about those prices on some of his tickets for Jay-Z. They were like $2,500 for a Jay-Z ticket, who's going to drop rent money on that, you know? So
Yeah.
in order to get someone to buy a $2,500 ticket, you'd have to, I don't know, allegedly, artificially create scarcity, you know? Because
Yes.
if people think, oh, it's going to sell out, then they have to buy it. And that's,
Yeah.
you know, that's always been a marketing ploy forever. So could he be in cahoots with Live Nation, who's already, you know, face a $150 million lawsuit for, you know, cheating people out of
Yeah.
more money? Than probably, you know, allegedly.
Yeah. It seemed funny to me seeing how Kanye West, like, I think 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
launched his tickets, and him sold out fast too. And he had like 1.1 million people in the queue. Just to see like Jay-Z try to like up that, which
Yeah.
like I don't really believe that there's that type of demand for Jay-Z right now, especially having that whole backlash with Rock Nation for everybody. Like
Yeah.
he's been at odds with a lot of like big fan bases, like your Tory Lanez, your Drakes, your Nickies, your Lil Wayne fan base. They've all been like tearing him down.
Yeah.
And not only that, a lot of people have been tearing him down. But you know, I'm gonna go ahead. I love Jay-Z, one of my favorite artists, and yeah, even in the interview, he spoke on why he chose Kendrick for the Super Bowl. He said that like, why not Kendrick? He had a great year, the year that he did Drake and this J. Cole. So like, why not, like, you know, if he had a banger of a year, why not give him that?
Yeah.
And he also like he praised him for not for performing his new album and not going with the hits, with all his hits. Like, you know, like what everybody would have done.
Yeah.
They would have gone through all his hits. He gave you the new album. He said that it just proves to you that Kendrick, he is who he is. He is who we say he is, who we think he is. He's a true artist that takes risks, and everything paid off for him. So, you know, he said like he didn't have a dog in the race when it came to Drake and Kendrick. So he's like, yo, you know, like with all due respect, I'm Jay-Z. Like, I don't like for him to me, like, yeah, I like that he said that because it's like Drake ain't above him for him to feel threatened by Drake. So he's like,
Yeah.
yo, I'm motherfucking Hove.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
Jay-Z. You know? So to me, that was dope. At the same time, he did say that maybe battle rap shouldn't be part of the culture no more. Or like, but I'm just like, like, I don't like that. He also said that, you know, in the streets, there's always been those off limits with family and kids. But I'm like, he's very known for dissing Nas and saying that he left a condom on his baby mama's car seat.
Dang.
So he's very known for that. And then he's known for being petty with his rhymes. So I was like, man, I don't know how you was the best person to say that, Jay-Z. maybe the growth, right? Maybe the growth. But one thing that stood out for me, he said in 2026, he's going to be in the offense. So I'm like, I like to hear that.
Maybe he's just trying to control the narrative, which would lead up to him dropping an album.
Yeah.
I think I agree with on that aspect.
Yeah.
Because he you know, try to create momentum. He controls the narrative. He's a man of a lot of influence. I don't know about popularity though, because you got to control the popularity with the youth. I don't know a lot of youth that listen to Jay-Z.
Yeah.
They're too much into, you know, Lil Pump, Uzi, all the Lils, Tekashi 6ix9ine even, but I don't hear Jay-Z in the talks in the youth, you know.
That's
so
true.
it's a lot of old heads, you know,
but
people older than me for sure.
But it also speaks to a lot of people our age are probably like the higher consumers right now. They're the ones buying vinyls. The vinyls are up. Sales, I think they hit billions this last year. A lot of people are buying. A lot of people our age are buying nostalgic things. So maybe there's a lot of power in that as well. There's a lot of buying power. So with Jay-Z, it's just like I hope he addresses everything that he's been going through. You know, with Kanye West, with the Meg Thee Stallion case, because you know his name was being dragged on that. So
Yeah.
the Tory Lanez thing, the whole Nicki thing. Nicki's been dissing his family. A lot of people, Drake, a lot of fan bases. Lil Wayne was upset that he didn't get chosen for the Super Bowl. So a lot of big, huge fan bases have been attacking him the last 5 years. Heavy.
And do you think it's a best form to bring out those responses in the art form versus like a documentary form where they're asking them these questions?
I think so because Jay-Z's, you know, one thing that he's known for is triple entendres and being very, very slick with his wording.
Yeah.
I would like to see it. I would like for him to pop it, like, and show the culture that you run the culture, because he runs hip hop. He runs the rap culture, right? He's in the biggest space and position to like call the biggest shots when it comes to even music, right? Super Bowl halftime, it belongs to him. He chooses how that's produced. So I want him to come out and pop it, and also address. He did address the Bixby, the lawyer that sued him for that rape allegation.
Yeah.
He did address that. He brought that up, and then why he chose to address it, and why he felt like it was important for him to sue. So I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited. Today I was bumping his 444 album, and I can't wait for like grown man raps. So grown man raps for somebody in that level of like fucking Mount Rushmore of like hip hop artists. So yeah, shit. Talking about music, continue with the music. J. Cole pulls up on Camron. No, he pulled up on the Deska for Apple interview where he finally spoke on the Drake situation. He said on that interview that he hated how they treated Drake in the battle. He said that he cried. Him and his wife cried when he chose to apologize to Kendrick. He said that he said a lot of conflicting things, because he also released a new song on Mike Will made his latest album. They dropped it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he said, fuck artists that are chasing Grammys. So he's popping it. He's popping it still on the rap records. But in these interviews, he's being very beta. He's being very like, yo, I chose to back out. I chose this.
You think it's theatrics?
I think people have been like people have been killing him for him being like wishy-washy, and it goes back to, again, he's being brave on the record, but in the interviews he's playing the victim again. He's playing the victim and why he chose to back up the battle, that it got personal on both ends, and they both cross lines, and he loves Kendrick, he loves Drake. He's being still back to that wishy-washy, but on that record he's dissing people that are getting Grammys. So it just goes back to like, make up your goddamn mind, bro. Like, but I fuck with J. Cole, and then he also pulled up on Camron. Camron actually did a lawsuit on him because J. Cole promised to do an interview with him, I think like a year and a half ago, and he was dodging him because obviously he was in the middle of the whole beef.
Yeah.
And so Camron, I think probably 4 months ago, they did a whole lawsuit for him because Camron gave him like 2 verses. So and then I guess it was content because J. Cole pulled up to the studio and Camron was recording his podcast, and he was like, yo. And then he's like, really, bro? Really? A lawsuit? Obviously, it was a play. For sure, it was a play.
Yeah.
But it was dope for even that moment. And today, Camron released 2 clips. One clip talking about the record Like That, where Kendrick first released the diss records. The diss record where he went at Drake and J. Cole. So just to get his reaction on when he heard that track, he said that he thought it was a great record. It was the Kendrick went crazy, but he didn't like, which I think is a lie. He said that he didn't really like buy into it right away because he was like more like, I guess, blown away by the song itself. Yeah. And then later on, he kind of like, oh shit, he's dissing me, which I didn't buy that. I didn't come out for. He said, fuck the big 3, it's just big me.
Yep.
After a month, 2 months prior, you said the big, you and Drake are like, so Spider-Man meme. Like, come on, fool. Like, I see, it goes back to Drake. I mean, J. Cole being the victim and like, I don't know, just being too soft, fool.
Maybe he's a different person when he's writing versus in person,
Yeah.
Because with writing, he's like preparing. He's probably like going ham. Like he's probably like, oh, like a cool guy would do this, But in person, he's not that guy.
That's what it is too. Could be because I'm noticing that his pen is saying different things than it's actually when he's in an interview.
I think he's told us. I think J. Cole has always put it there for us to see with his song. I forget the song name, but he's talking about how a girl in high school or whatever wants him to show her how they do it and stuff because he seems experienced, and so he fakes it, and she's like, "Oh, you've obviously been so experienced," but inside he knows he's never done it. He's just faking it for the clout.
Yeah.
So I think that song is his portrayal of what it's really like. You know, he's not really this guy, allegedly. Don't sue me. He is just a guy putting up a front. And so he put it out, and it's like his biggest song. I can't say I'm a huge J. Cole fan, but so I can't say that what the song is. But you know, he talks about how he laid it down.
Yeah, his first time.
Yeah, his first time.
Yeah.
And he had to fake it. So maybe that's just he's running on that. That's the reality of J. Cole, allegedly.
He also so when Kendrick released that Like That record with Future and Metro Booming, he said that the Fallout was already his last album was already done, and that Kendrick had 2 songs in there. He was on 2 different songs. Obviously, he was no longer, when he dropped it a few months ago, he was no longer on there. And he said that all he was thinking about was like, damn, Kendrick, the wrong timing, like not right now. Like I was just like, I don't know how to feel about that. I'm like
he was missing out on his opportunity.
Yeah,
to win some clout off
and the way like. Yeah, and
you're fucking up my shit over here.
You're fucking up my shit, so he had to, I guess, scrap that album and start from all over again. I don't know. I just he got a lot of backlash from these 2 interviews he had.
Yeah,
and the clips that are coming out, he's having a lot of backlash where people are like, "See, J. Cole," like even J. Cole fans are like, "Yo, like, bro, like, shut up."
And do you think he can come back from all this stuff already?
Yeah, he's doing well in his tour tickets. People love J. Cole. He's gonna do well. He's gonna do well. I think he's gonna be all right. He sold pretty well in his last album that just dropped, The Fall Off. He sold like 300K plus, which is great, and this really great in this type of era that we're in.
Yeah.
So I think so, but it just like I think his fans are getting to the point where like, fool, just shut up.
Just keep moving.
Just drop
like
music.
His personal life is ruining the music.
Yeah.
Like he's built up a facade and he's tearing it down with interviews and stuff.
Because you said like in his pen, he pops it. Even his last album, he was taking like subliminal shots, but you don't know who he's taking it at. But in this interview, he's like, "Yo, I love Kendrick. I love Drake. I love what the industry did to Drake. Like if Drake didn't deserve this." But I'm like, bro, everybody that spoke against Drake, they gave you the reasons why they don't fuck with Drake.
Yeah.
For personal reasons.
He stole songs.
He stole
abused
songs.
them, etc. I don't know about abuse, but
he chased women that were dating certain rappers. He was being a sleaze. He was being a two-face.
How you gonna do that to your best friend Lil Wayne, man? Like,
yeah, that was crazy.
I remember that interview with Lil Wayne where he's talking about how Drake had, he laid with this girl and stuff, and he like had tears. Oh, man. How are you gonna do that to your best friend? He basically put him on,
Yes, fool. See? So even J. Cole saying like, "Yo, the industry," I'm like, bro, everybody that turned on him said the reasons why they turned on him. The reason why he's, stole music, stole bars, ideas. He painted one of his ghostwriters as a villain. I think his name Miller, something Miller. He ended up getting shot too.
Dang.
Like he painted him as a villain, and dog, he's struggling. So I'm like, dog, like people that chose to use that opportunity when Kendrick was punching him down to speak up. Like I just felt like J. Cole was just back to his fucking like soft ass, just like, I hate what happened to Drake. To see Kendrick. Yeah, I love what happened to Kendrick, him winning all this, getting Super Bowl. Yeah. But at the same time, I hated it for Drake. Yeah. I'm like,
he's like trying to appease both sides when and it's making him look bad. For
it does, yes.
When in reality he should pick a side. Probably not Drake's side.
or just pick his own side.
Yeah.
And shut up. Pick your side of like staying out of it.
Just pick you, bro.
Stay out of it. Yeah. Stay out of it. Stop trying to appease both sides. When fucking Drake had released a little sample, a disc bar when he dropped his album the same night. I'm like, see, like it goes back to the same shit. For like, man, stop being the
Wait, so Drake dropped a
little sample of
like a feeler.
Yeah. the night that J. Cole was dropping his album. So
that's manipulation right there of
exactly,
the market,
fool.
basically.
And for J. Cole to go back to it, it's like, yo, I like this
Yeah.
guy, I love this guy, and I love this guy. And I just came out of the Drake tour, and it was a bad timing for Kendrick. He shouldn't have done that.
And people got to realize Drake is friends with all these music producers.
Yeah.
He's basically family with all the owners of the music industry.
Yeah.
So, like, for him to be putting out feelers like that when someone else of his level puts an album, it's like specifically manipulation in order to stop the sales from going up.
Of course.
Could he potentially have stopped like 20% of all the sales? Yeah. He could have. He could have done
I
just
think,
that.
fortunately for J. Cole, everybody trashed it because it was whack. so it didn't work.
So it didn't help anyways.
It didn't help anyways. They actually kind of because he's been leaking, or supposedly they've been leaking his records.
Yeah.
A lot of records have been leaked this last 4 or 5 months. A lot from like a bunch of streamers.
Well, everybody's already claiming he ain't dropping anything.
I think so, because everybody's changing their profile picture to the diamond. I think his album cover. Kai Cenat, everybody's been changing the profile picture. So I think it's coming out. I think it is coming out.
Well, that's part of the rollout too. You know, you pay a few streamers, influencers, and then you announce when your album's gonna drop. So, yeah, it's just sort of like part of this campaign, I guess.
Yeah, but I am gonna listen to it. I mean, I am gonna support his album and check it out. You know, I'm a fan of music, so hey, dog, hopefully he does well. Hopefully he has records. Goes back to him, Drake being Drake. You know, and also talking about J. Cole today, right now, literally a few hours ago, Joey Badass released a statement publicly that J. Cole was scared to feature his own artist JID on his album, that because he's scared of getting the best out of. Basically, he's scared of JID rapping better than him.
And you can never be afraid of training someone or like
And that's his
helping
artist.
them. You know,
That's his artist,
Yeah.
and J. Cole has never featured his main artist on any of his albums. Any of his albums, J. Cole has, and him being this is his last album. It was, to me, when I heard that JID when I seen that he wasn't on the album, I was like, what? Because JID wasn't on a promo run probably months prior, talking about, me and J. Cole got a bunch of records. We have albums worth of records.
Yeah.
And none of them to appear on his project. And I'm just saying, like, hey, you know what? Joey Badass has been like popping it to a lot of people. And hey, hopefully J. Cole replies to that.
I think that's a disservice to himself. Like, imagine like that Drake and 21 Savage album that did numbers.
That did numbers.
So imagine a J. Cole album jointly with his artist. Like, even if the highlight is his artist, so what? He's your artist. You're making money off of it.
For sure.
You're both getting notoriety off of it. Put it out anyways. Who cares if he gets more popular? Like, everyone's got to step down and let someone else shine anyways.
Yeah.
Is J. Cole's time over? I don't know yet. But, like, let your artist come up, because then you get opportunities to be featured on his stuff too.
Yeah. Especially if it's your last album, why not feature your biggest, most popular artists who everybody's waiting for you to pass the torch to?
Yeah.
And to not. I was like thrown back by it by not having it, because JID was speaking on J. Cole, like if he was going to be featured on that album. He was like, we got a bunch of records. And the album came and he wasn't featured on it. I was like, oh, shit.
That sucks. That's gotta hurt for him.
Yeah.
I know. And then for Joey Badass to mention that, I was like, damn. And also, back to the Jay-Z, he spoke on J. Cole. Because there's this also, J. Cole signed to Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And there's been this story that has been brewing around that Jay-Z told that there was a studio session with Jay-Z, Drake, and J. Cole, or like or a meeting or some type of like situation where Jay-Z told Drake, "Can you give him a hit song?" Like almost like sending J. Cole. There's been a story like that for the last year and a half. So they spoke on that GQ interview. And JC said, like saying in a way that he wasn't trying to like downplay him, that he just brought him to this producer to like, he's made diamond hits for Rihanna, some of the biggest artists that I've had, some of the biggest artists in the world. I just wanted for you to get one of those type of records. Like, it's up for you if you want to use it. I just brought you there just for you to have that access to.
Yeah.
So he spoke on it. So it was like interesting. I was just like, because there's been this thing of like, is J. Cole subbing Jay-Z as well? Like saying these so-called kings and yada, 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 right? So it's just like interesting that Jay-Z chose to speak on this. And it was like, it's like this trippy things that are happening in the rap world. It's like this whole movie playing out.
Yeah, it's a lot of politics in the rap world too, man.
It's a lot. It's a lot, to me it was just very interesting today. A lot of J. Cole and Jay-Z and Drake and Kendrick talked these last 2 days. It's been, to me, I love this rap shit, so it was like I was just hearing all the interviews and deciphering the undertones and in between the lines type of messaging.
It just shows me that the up and coming artists got to step up more. Like it sucks to have someone go super viral and then not using that opportunity to continue. Like, I don't hear much of Roddy Ricch right now. He was huge maybe like 2 years ago. And then there's that one guy that got super viral off of TikTok, and he's like nowhere to be heard right now. He had that one hit. Was it Rich? It's that one song that goes, I never meant to say, baby, can do no wrong.
The one that was accusing of being AI?
I think so,
yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And so, literally allowing, in this case, he let his ego get the better of him because he didn't want to be marked as like a TikTok artist. Yeah. And he didn't add his single on his album because of it. How are you not going to do that, man?
Yeah, and you know what? He hasn't been heard since then.
Exactly.
Hasn't been heard.
You got to use your 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Make that 15 minutes and stretch it out, man.
Yeah. And you know what? That was a great record. I really like that record.
It was a great record. That one wasn't even my favorite song. Oh, Tommy Richmond.
Yeah, Tommy Richmond. There you go.
That song wasn't even my favorite. He had a ton of other hits that sounded so good on that album.
And he also said, I believe he said that he wasn't trying to be labeled as a hip hop artist.
Yeah.
And another thing that like slapped fucking rap in the
face. He sounded like a hip hop. I don't know what his ideal was. Like,
yeah,
rock star.
All right, let's get to it. We have other topics. So ICE has been deployed to most major airports nationwide. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Well,
what was your thoughts when you heard that? What was your thoughts right away?
It all feels contrived because let's put our conspiracy hats on because a lot of people refer to Project 2025, where it says specifically that the TSA should be privatized, et cetera. In my opinion, I just think it's the giving. It's a way to give this privatized police more power. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to compare them to the Nazis at this point because first you had them out getting illegals. Now you have them in the airports when before you were like running ads as the DHS or ICE that, hey, if you're illegal, you should deport yourself. Yeah. But now I think what they're really trying to do is they're trying to contain these people, any illegal person whatsoever, because it's more profitable for them. And unfortunately, our entire country is essentially feeding the war machine and feeding the prison machine, and the prisons are incredibly profitable. So would they rather let the illegals deport themselves or put them in a prison where that prison is going to make millions of dollars off of all the people that they detain? You always got to follow the money in that aspect. So unfortunately, ICE is getting way too powerful, in my opinion, and we should rise up. It's about time, guys. Like, we should do something about it, honestly, because this is outrageous. So ICE is in most major airports, and I feel like it's just going to give a sense of unrest to everyone. I don't think anyone goes to the airport thinking, "Oh, I'm safe because ICE is here." Yeah, that's what our cops are for. Meanwhile, a lot of politicians are saying, "Oh, we need ICE in the airports because TSA is unable to do their job because the Democrats are not allowing this specific bill to pass in order to fund TSA." Well, TSA is already funded by every ticket you buy from the airport. There's like a little fee on every ticket. It's something like $5 or more, and it specifically says the 9/11 fee. alluding to like why we have TSA is because of the 9/11 attack. So the TSA is already funded through those tickets. It's already funded through DHS, and essentially Trump and the Republicans are trying to force the Democrats to pass a bill that will fund TSA, yes, but what they're really trying to do is stuff in a ton of other stuff in this bill that we would we would normally never agree to, you know.
Yeah.
So
I just find it odd because it's like even like just thinking about that, I don't believe that a lot of illegal immigrants would be like traveling like that.
Yeah, through airport.
Like
Exactly.
to the airport. Like people are very fearful of that. So that's why I was like, what the hell? Like that's like the least what I expected. But it makes sense what you're saying that they're trying to privatize the TSA.
Yeah.
Because it was to me, it was like, what the hell? Like usually people have their whatever, their passports or their real ID for them to travel now.
yeah,
So I was like, that's kind of weird. Even though I saw an incident where they got a mother in front of their child.
yeah.
And like trying to like, they arrested her and all that. But it was just like.
And that's
trippy.
traumatizing, unfortunately, for them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just trippy for just to know that. And in LA not being one of the listed.
Well, they know. I mean, like, how are you going to do that in LA? We're going to riot everywhere.
Yeah.
LA is half of us are Hispanic. We're going to have a certain way. We're going to feel a certain way knowing that I'm sure a lot of our families work in LAX. There's going to be so much unrest. If they do something to this like this in LAX, it's just going to be hell.
Yeah.
Because LAX is already known for being a terrible place to go to.
Well, right now, there's like what's a 4 or 5 hour wait for TSA right now? Like the last couple of weeks?
In a lot of places. And I feel like a lot of those are contrived in a way to make it seem like TSA is the problem. TSA is not the problem. It's the government specifically not paying TSA in order to use it as a bargaining chip to pass their bills. They're already, unfortunately, our government is doing like a blackmail to some extent, and they're just trying to push their agenda, trying to consolidate more power to themselves. ICE is already like the most well-funded, army essentially that we have. They are more funded than the police. They get an insane amount of freedoms, and they get the least amount of training. So you just have a recipe for disaster happening.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, phone. It's just crazy what's happening, and prayers for everybody. And it's gonna create more chaos in these airports. It's gonna continue to be bad for the.
It seems like everything that Trump is doing right now is to cause unrest, because I don't think anyone's agreeing with the war going on. Anyone's agreeing with he's like using his tweets as a way to manipulate stock markets, even. Because, he always says such conflicting things. Oh, we won the war with Iran. Iran's now begging for us to, help them. And then he actually put something like he's even gone back on his word with farm workers. He's asking specifically to illegals to come back and work in the farms because now we're having a farming crisis. And with our rising oil prices, I think I've heard something like a quarter of all the farmers haven't secured their soil or some type of product for next year.
Yeah.
So next year's crop would even suffer. So we're looking at a disaster of a lot of things happening on many fronts that just seems to be going to civil unrest and just hardships for everyone, financially and emotionally and in every way politically too. Yeah,
even the truckers, they canceled hundreds of thousands of like trucker licenses.
Yeah.
Yep.
For I guess illegal, quote unquote, illegal immigrants, and it's a lot happening. It's a lot happening. I guess also the U.S. government declares themselves insolvent. Speak on that.
Yeah. So the U.S., the Treasury of the United States essentially said, hey, if we continue going where we're at, which is essentially we're at $48 trillion in debt, compared to the assets of the United States being at $6 trillion, we're going to hit rock bottom and we're going to declare bankruptcy. It's something that Trump is very used to doing, bankruptcies as in companies, and now he's trying it with the country, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it's going to involve all of us going through financial ruin to some extent. And they're essentially they're treating the United States like a private equity company. You know how they work?
Yeah.
Like Red Lobster declared bankruptcy not because they were doing bad, but because they were bought out by private equity. That private equity then sold off all its assets and then started charging Red Lobster an insane amount of rent. So they bought the property under them. So now they owe rent to the company that bought them. And so therefore the private equity is doing an insane amount of money. Meanwhile, they're letting the company go bankrupt. And it's happened to Toys R Us. It's happened to Red Lobster. And it's happening now to the United States. They're selling bits by bits, creating instability, consolidating all the money to the 1% billionaires, and then we're all left to suffer for it.
Sheesh.
Fucking crazy,
Yeah, that's
bro.
crazy. It's a lot. There's just so many things, and I do see a lot of people that were pro Trump. Now they're like speaking out, like that was a bad idea, and like I guess the polls are down, right? His polls are his ratings are down. All types of shit is down.
Yeah, he's not doing favorable, and everyone, as far as I know, is against this war against Iran. We're going on a month now. There seems to be nothing in place that they haven't planned to stop the war. While all of this is going on, by the way,
and they're lying about the numbers, right? They're lying about people.
So a lot of foreign press are saying that there's been thousands of deaths in the United States. A lot of people in the military are saying, "Hey, like that we're being told to keep quiet." I work in the infirmary section where we handle the dead and stuff, and there's a lot more action going on, and they're using planes that aren't really tracked in order to conceal the amount of dead bodies having to be transported to the United States.
And I think some of I don't know if the reporters, but they're being prohibitive to film. I guess the bodies are coming back, or I guess caskets are coming back. I don't know how that works, but that's been happening from when I was hearing some reports about that. It's crazy. But hey, they just raised the age for Army enlistment from 32 to 42.
It doesn't sound good, man.
Are you ready to fight?
Man. I'm an only child. Does that count?
I got herniated discs. I can't do it.
I'm a felon.
Man,
Yeah, it's crazy. Full life.
it's insane, bro.
It's insane what's happening. It's just like it's a lot going on. Even with the whole Cesar Chavez situation, where they more cases are coming forward with him being a alleged pedophile with underage as young as 12 and 13 years old, and then they're already covering his statues. They're already covering streets. They're already renaming streets. Quick. I'm pro that, but at the same time, are we gonna do that towards George Washington, to all these historic figures that were also doing pedophile activities?
Yeah.
Or even the people that are covering the whole Epstein stuff, or people that are alleged to be in that list.
Well, you know what? Let me put my perspective on there. So you got to use a lot of psychology and marketing and PR in order to sort of think about this situation. You got to remember the founding father of marketing and public relations.
Yeah.
His name is Edward Bernays.
Yeah.
His uncle was who the fuck is his uncle? He's even more famous than him. The psychologist, the main psychologist that we all talk about. Is it Freud? Freudian.
Yeah.
So Sigmund Freud is the uncle of Edward Bernays.
Yeah.
So Sigmund Freud is a main guy who we talk about in psychology all the time. Edward Bernays is the main guy in public relations and essentially public manipulation of ideals, right? And so the modern way of dealing with public relation issues is in order to flood keywords and certain information on the internet so that the thing that they want to hide is hidden.
Mm-hmm.
So what has happened recently with farming? Well, I just mentioned that farmers are probably going to have a bad year.
Yeah.
Farmers are having a terrible year, and our crops can suffer for that next year, which may lead to famine, which may lead to hunger and a lot of different issues. And how do you conceal that? You conceal it by bringing up, Cesar Chavez was big on farming. A lot of the keywords he dealt with farmers, farmland, crops, etc. So let's take all these keywords. Let's take all the the things that people would normally find and search for and flood it with Cesar Chavez. Why now? Why Cesar Chavez all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Did someone suddenly think like, oh, this guy did terrible things, we should speak up about it? No, because if that was the case, then the Epstein files would have been solved a long time ago, because obviously we care about pedophiles being caught. So it must have been a contrived situation where they're like, something's happening in the farming industry. Let's do something to take eyeballs away from that.
Put the lights somewhere
So
else.
Cesar Chavez is the biggest person in
farming,
regards to
yep.
farming. Let's talk about him. Oh, he did atrocities. Easy. That'll go viral. Let's run with that. A lot of our media is controlled. And so we got to be critical in that, like, yeah, he did atrocities. He probably deserves all the negative things that are going to come about. But we got to remember there's actual pedophiles out there that are still alive in our government, in positions of power.
Yep.
So we got to go for those people. So it's just another thing, again, like, guys, we can't stop talking about the Epstein stuff. The Epstein stuff is the most important thing of our generation to talk about, to continue, digging deeper into.
Yep.
We just had our department, the head of the Department of Justice, Pam Bondi, just get subpoenaed for not, following up on her job in regards to the Epstein files. We got to keep talking about this as a public, as a group, so that it never goes away, because it's just one headline after another that we're hit with every day, every news cycle, that will take away from this, when this should be the thing we talk about for until it gets solved.
Yeah.
For the next 5-10 years, whatever it takes, this is the most important thing.
And did they just release, I guess, the reports that there was a crazy amount of shredding of paperwork regarding the whole Epstein shit?
Yeah, man.
And I believe the FBI was also involved in those rooms when the shredding was happening.
I would. What's there not to disbelieve now? Because just Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, last year was saying there is no Epstein files.
Yeah.
The head of the FBI saying that.
Yeah.
How crazier does that get? And now
Yeah.
you're finding out that not even the head of the DOJ was doing her job in regards to the Epstein files. So there's a powerful group of people. Our government is probably already taken over, and everyone already talks about this online. I don't want to say the key words, but we know what country has already basically instilled its roots into ours.
Yeah.
And so they call it, we're no longer the United States of America. We're something else. It starts with an I.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. We have so many of our Congress members paid for by AIPAC. We have so many members of our senators paid for. Something like 90% of them take money from them. So can we do something as a country right now? Well, we have to go out and vote and protest these people that are taking money from a foreign country, because we just started a war for them. Meanwhile, they are invading southern Lebanon and have announced just today that they are indefinitely going to stay with the land that they've taken over, essentially. So they've already displaced something like 500,000 people, up to 1 million people in southern Lebanon, and kicked them out of their houses, killed dozens, hundreds of people, and all of this is being overshadowed by the stuff going on in Iran.
Of course. I did hear about Lebanon for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just you don't hear about it because everybody's too fucking focused on what they're trying to continue pushing.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of things happening.
It's a lot. And it hurts that everything's interconnected and we can always just point, but nothing ever gets done.
Nothing ever gets done. And also, like, people that are going to argue in the vote Democrat, that shit is corrupted from both sides.
Yeah.
Even the whole Democrat shit, like, nah, man, like,
Yeah.
it goes back to the same shit, the same type of fucking games that they play. Because to say that Democrats are being funded by the same people, too.
Yep,
You know?
exactly.
The people that are on top that run the Democratic Party are also part of the same fucking money pipeline that they're being funded by a certain type of organizations, and it's,
Yeah.
regardless if we elect certain, it's still gonna be the same motherfucking shit.
Yeah.
I think that what we got to do is remove the two-party system. Just be like, we got to go off of merits and policies.
Yep.
And we got to come together as a country to be like, this country was started by a group of individuals that said that all men are created equal. And, we are a Christian country with the idea that all men are created equal. We have we have the First Amendment to say we don't specifically rule one religion over another, but
Yeah.
there's a reason that they put a Christian nation on our bill, you know, and specifically saying that all men are created equal because some people believe we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, sheesh, I know. All right, guys. I think that wraps up the episode. It is a lot of things are happening. Just shit. Let's pay attention to everything that's happening, and
Just get home, light up your candles.
Light up your
Candelita,
candles.
That's why
you know what
I
I'm
need a
saying?
Candelita after talking about the government and conspiracies
bro.
and all that.
Need that.
yeah, man. Make sure you guys tap in with lacandelita.co and
Yes,
follow
sir.
La Candelita Instagram
It's
page.
live now.
Clips are coming, and just continue doing it up. Make sure you find all of us on social media and the link. Make sure you subscribe, share. Our numbers are going up. Make sure you continue sharing this shit. You know, I think we're almost like 600 followers on our new YouTube page. So we're trying to get 1,000 to try to get in the different algorithms. So continue sharing it, continue liking it, comment. Make sure you like, comment, and tell your homies to subscribe. And catch you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.